Now, hello students. We have been learning the lesson, the properties of seawater. And in the first part, we already learned about the two major properties of seawater. That is, one is temperature and other is the salinity. So we are going to continue with the second part of this video. So, based on the second lesson, same lesson. So let us focus attention on our next point. So we are going to continue with the same. On the page number 53, figure 6.9. Now here you have a one figure before you, that is salinity of the seawater is given, and based on it there are some questions. But before going further for answering the questions, let us understand this figure. Okay, in this figure it is given the salinity of the seawater around the 7 continents. You can see the 7 continents, and even here are the salinity of seawater given in a percentage. So the figure which you are able to see, 35, 34, 37, so it indicates the percentage of the salinity of seawater around the continents. And you can, if you observe it carefully, you can understand where it decreases, where it is increases. So it is too much helpful for you. So number one question, what is the salinity around the tropics? So this is the equator level and around the tropics. So what does it show? How much it is? So salinity around the tropics is 36%. You can see the 36 figure, which is very much common everywhere. So that is the average. That is the average figure, and it is around the tropics. It is 36%. Second, which region has the least salinity? So the maximum salinity here we are able to see is 37, 38, and the least salinity is 32, and it is near to the Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal, it is right to the India. Okay, right to the India. Bay of Bengal lies. It has the least salinity, that is 32%. The very least one is here area, 32. Which ocean has a salinity more than 37%? So more than 37% salinity here, the 37, 37, 37, it indicates 37. So here the ocean between two continents, Africa and South America. So here it lies the Atlantic Ocean. So Atlantic Ocean has the salinity more than 37%. So what are the reasons of difference in salinity on a global level? On a global level, see, it is the uneven distribution of temperature on the earth and uneven supply of fresh water. So these two factors are responsible for this, and that is the reason for difference in salinity on the global level. So let us continue. So let us look at the geographical explanation. The uneven distribution of temperature on the earth, uneven supply of fresh water, etc. This affect the salinity of seawater. As we learned in the first part about the salinity, the major points are: in seas where the rate of evaporation is high than the supply of fresh water, then salinity is high. Again, in seas where the supply of fresh water exceeds the rate of evaporation, the salinity is low. And salinity is not affected much in seas where both the supply of fresh water and evaporation of water is low. So in a tropical zone, so tropics, so this in a tropical zone, here passes the equator, and this Tropic of Cancer, here it passes Tropic of Capricorn in a tropical zone. So in this zone, so between this, the tropical zone, the rate of evaporation is also higher. Therefore, the salinity is also higher. Around 5 degree north and south of the equator, in the equatorial calm belt, the sky is cloudy for a long period of time, and convectional rainfall occurs every day. So large rivers like Congo and Amazon basins. So here you're able to see the river Congo in Africa continent, and in South America continent the Amazon river. So it is the river basins. So these two rivers, large rivers like Congo and Amazon in the equatorial region, meet the sea. Now here it meet the sea to the Atlantic Ocean. Therefore the supply of fresh water is abundant. But because of higher temperature, as it lies on the equator, higher temperature, the rate of evaporation is more, and therefore the sea in these areas are more saline. So that is the reason. In mid-latitudinal zones, that is 25 degree to 35 degree north and south, rainfall is less and the supply of fresh water from rivers is also low. So as we go away from the equator, this is the middle line, equator line. As we go away, so temperature decreases. So the rainfall is less and supply of fresh water from rivers is also low. So this zone has the hot deserts of the world. Thus the salinity of sea is found to be higher here. So this is the explanation for this. And in temperate region the sun rays are slanting and therefore the temperatures are lower. So because of melting of snow, the supply of water is also more, and therefore in this zone the salinity decrease with increasing latitudes. In the polar areas the temperature are very low. So these are the polar areas. Temperature very low. Evaporation is also very less in polar areas. So salinity is also low. So understand with the help of this figure as well. So in red color lies the tropic, it is hot temperature, and in a temperate zone indicated in yellow color it is warm, and the polar zone has a very coldest temperature in the north pole and the south pole. So temperature affects a lot. Even landlocked seas have higher salinity than open sea, as the rate of evaporation is more and there is lack of supply of fresh water from large rivers. Thus, there is a difference in the salinity of open and landlocked seas. For example, the average salinity of the Mediterranean Sea is 39%, while the salinity of the most saline ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, is 35%. Now just think about it corner. Now if you think about India, there is the Arabian Sea to the west. So here lies the Arabian Sea to the west of India, and Bay of Bengal to the east. So here lies the Bay of Bengal, okay, to the east side. So this is the eastern coast and this is the western coast. The salinity of eastern coast is 34%. To the eastern it has 34, while it is 35% in the Arabian Sea. So here is 1% increase. So here is a 34, so but here is 35 to the west. What could be the reason behind this? Now, even in the Arabian Sea, what could be the reasons of higher salinity in the western coastal region compared to the... So what is the reason behind it? So what could be the reason of higher salinity in the western coastal region? So western has higher salinity. The reason is that the many large peninsular rivers drain their waters in the Bay of Bengal, and on the contrary, only small seasonal coastal rivers drain in the Arabian Sea. That is originate from the Western Ghats, the very few rivers, and those are seasonal ones. Only in the rainy seasons they flows. So many large a large peninsular rivers drain their waters in the Bay of Bengal, and on the contrary, only small seasonal coastal rivers drain in the Arabian Sea. Hence, the salinity of Arabian Sea is more than the Bay of Bengal. So that is the reason behind it. Now let us look at, do you know fact? Dead Sea. The name of the sea itself gives us an idea of the condition there. The sea lying on the border of Israel and Jordan has a salinity of 332%. 332%. The average salinity of the ocean is 35, and here how much it is? 332%. Jordan is the only large river meeting this sea. Low rainfall, low supply of fresh water, and high evaporation are the reasons of high salinity. So there is no life here except few unicellular organisms. The fish coming from the river Jordan die as soon as they come here because of high salinity. The saline pillars have developed, some of them come out of the surface. The density of water is also high because of higher salinity. Therefore, one cannot drown. One can never drown in the sea. So, one can never drown in the sea. You can see the floating picture of the person. He is not unable to drown. Now we can easily float when we go in the seawater. Another characteristics of the Dead Sea is that the land here is below the mean sea level. It is one of the places having the lowest elevations on the earth. In some areas, the altitude is minus 400 meter. So this is the features of Dead Sea. The next point, density. The temperature and salinity are the two properties of seawater that controls the density of the seawater. If temperature reduces, density of water increases. Cold water is denser and so is saline water. As compared to salinity, temperature affects the density more. Hence, sometimes more saline water has lower temperature at the sun rays, but still the density of such water is more than other water. On the contrary, seawater having higher temperature and low salinity can have lower density. So keep in mind the correlations between these things. Through the figure it will be too much helpful for you to understand. So friends, let us continue with the same lesson. Now on the page number 55, you have figure 6.10. It is entitled as distribution of temperature, salinity and density of seawater according to depth. So according to the depth, here we have a temperature, salinity and density. And to the both sides, we have the depth is given in meter, right from the 500 meters to the 4500 meters, both side depth in meters. Here we have a temperature on the top, temperature, salinity and density is given, and here we have a curve. So with the help of this curve, we are able to find the differences between the three. How the graph is decreasing. See the higher degrees. Look at the first point, the temperature in a degree. It is 22, 23, 22, and if you look at that, the higher the temperature, the gradually the temperature decreases. There won't change in the temperature at the depth. The maximum after the 1000 meter, the temperature, the depth in meters, it remains the same. Okay, it's not going to change. Only there is a slight change. Even for the density, the same things apply after the depth in 1000 meter. So it is here 1000 meter. There is no change we can find here. But in temperature we can find a somewhat slight difference, but at the density there is very lower difference. The lines comes very straight. That means the temperature below it remains stable. So that's the meaning. And at the surface level, it affects. So let us try to give an answer for this. With increasing depth, what decreases? Temperature, salinity, or density? See, the temperature and salinity decreases with the increasing depth. So, right from the increasing depth, the temperature here is going to decrease and the salinity, as there is a increase in depth. After what depth does the change in these factor become almost zero? After what depth it becomes zero? After the depth of 1000 meter, as I told earlier, so 1000 meter, it remains stable. So there is no change in these factors. Number 3, till what depth is the change in these factors higher? Till what depth it is higher? The higher change can be seen up to a depth of about 500 meters. About 500 meters, we can find the change, as it is a surface level of the seawater. So it is the penetration of the sun rays. So it affects on the temperature, but after that, as we go down deep, we won't find the difference. Explain the correlation between all these three factors. Now, what is all these three factors correlate with one another? If the temperature is less, the density is more. If the temperature is less, the density is more. If the salinity is less, then density is also less. Salinity less, density also less. Try to understand the correlation. I am repeating again. If the temperature is less, density is more. If the salinity is less, then density is also less. However, the temperature affects the density more as compared to the salinity. So, temperature affects density more as compared to the salinity. If the temperature is less, then the density is more despite less salinity. So, that is a correlation between. Now, geographical explanation for the same. See figure 6.10. The graph shows salinity, temperature, and density with reference to the depth of seawater. Now you know that the density of water is dependent on the temperature and salinity. So it depends on the temperature and salinity. If you see the graph carefully, you will realize that after a certain depth, there is no change in these factors according to the depth. The change can be seen up to the depth of about 500 meters. So about till the 500 meters we can find the change. But after 500 meters and mostly 1000 meters, there is no change, as it goes very straight one. The slopes of curves of the graph are varying for all the three factors, but below the depth of 1000 meter, there is no change in all the three factors. Generally, we can call the seawater up to the depth of 500 meter as a surface water. This water gets affected by ocean currents and sun rays. We can see the movement of these water in the form of ocean currents. At the greater depth, winds, sun rays, and currents do not affect these properties. Therefore, after around 1000 meter depth, there is no change in these three factors. The ocean currents are generated because of difference in the properties of seawater. They act as a temperature controllers at the global level. The distribution of temperature gets controlled due to the ocean currents. Thus, the climate of the earth gets affected by ocean currents. Now, in this way, this lesson is over. Thank you.